Hello everyone, welcome to EduRev. In this session of Human Reproduction chapter, we are going to discuss about the male reproductive system. You can sit with your pens and notebooks to note important points also because this chapter is very important. So, let us begin with our topic. Humans, as we know, are unisexual as well as viviparous. Means they produce live babies from their bodies rather than eggs. So I will write down here that they produce live babies, as you can see in this image. That is why humans are called as viviparous animals. So reproductive system, as we talk about in humans, it helps in production of offspring through various reproductive processes. So among which we will discuss here about the organs of male reproductive system. Organs of male reproductive system first in this topic. Male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region of the male body. So it is located in the pelvis region of the male body. Now, what it constitutes, what do we actually study inside the male reproductive system are the first one, the pair of testes. Yes, pair of testes. Yes, along with accessory ducts and accessory glands and the external genitalia, about which we are going to study in detail about all these parts or organs or the system which comprises the male reproductive system. Now look at this image on your screen. I will first mark the pair of testes. So the oval shaped structure you see here, where I am marking number 1, are the pair of testes. Obviously you can't see the another testes which is present on the side of this testes that you can see. So there are 2 testes present inside the human male body. And next one is the accessory ducts. So accessory ducts are not visible here in this image, but we will study further in this topic about the accessory ducts. So just know that it is present inside the testes, where I have marked number 2, along with the structure, this structure where I am putting the arrow, this structure is also included in the accessory ducts, about which I am going to tell you further in this topic. Now coming to the accessory glands. So the label structure in this image, the seminal vesicle, the prostate gland and bulbourethral gland you see here are the accessory glands about which we are going to study further in this topic, as I have said. And last one is the external genitalia. That is the penis, as you can see where I have marked number 4 is the external genitalia. Now, testes, as you can see, are present outside the abdominal cavity. All the other structure except for the external genitalia, you see that testes is present outside the abdominal cavity inside a pouch-like structure which is called as scrotum, which is known as the scrotum. Now why I am telling you this is because scrotum helps in a very important function, that it maintains the low temperature for testes. Yes, it maintains, remember this point, that it maintains the very low temperature for testes, that is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius, 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius below the normal body temperature, which is required for spermatogenesis, And what is spermatogenesis? What is spermatogenesis? It is the production of sperms. Production of sperms. So with this we know that sperms are produced inside the testes, but they require the temperature 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius below the normal body temperature. So our normal body temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius. So the requirement is just below it, around 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius. So it is a very important point, and from the perspective of exam also and NEET also. So this kind of questions comes in the paper. So you must remember this point very, very carefully. So giving it a quick look, what we have just studied that the male reproductive system is located in the pelvic region or pelvis region. It includes a pair of testes, accessory ducts, accessory glands, and the external genitalia. And as we have studied, the testes are present outside the abdominal cavity within a pouch which is called as scrotum. And very importantly, the function of scrotum is to maintain the low temperature, that is about 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius below than the normal body temperature, which is required for spermatogenesis. Now about the testes that we are studying. Now testes was not always present outside the body as we have seen in the previous topic. But what happens is, during the fetal stage, it was made inside the abdomen. As you can see, the testes is present inside the abdomen. Yes. So it was made inside the abdomen. But at the 7th month of gestation, 7th month of gestation means pregnancy, what happens is, these testes which are made inside the abdomen, they descend into the abdomen to the scrotum. Means the testes that you can see which is made inside the abdomen, it descends to the scrotum. Now this is scrotum. It is the scrotum. But it happens at the 7th month of gestation. And that is the reason testes are present outside the abdominal cavity. But in some cases what happens, the testes fail to descend. In some cases, testes fail to descend in the scrotum. Yes, even after the birth of the male. And this condition is known as cryptorchidism. What happens is, in this particular case, the testes are unable to descend in the scrotal sacs, and that is why the male remains infertile or sterile. The male is infertile, or the another word for infertile is sterile or sterile. Because the reason why male becomes infertile or sterile if the testes remain inside the abdominal cavity is because testes do not get appropriate temperature for spermatogenesis. Temperature is not suitable for spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis. And this particular condition is called as cryptorchidism. So let us first dig into testes. Now each testis, as you can see in this image, is oval shaped. Yes, oval shaped. And if you talk about its length is about 4 to 5 centimeter. It is about 4 to 5 centimeter. And looking at its width, it is about 2 to 3 centimeter. And from its placement, you can easily see that testis is covered by a very dense covering. Now let us look at the longitudinal section of testes. that is inside. We are actually looking inside of the testes, that how it looks and what all is there inside the testes. So as far as we know that there are two testes in human males. Yes, there are two testes in human male. So this we know as far. Yes, and what is? So if we look at its internal structure, the longitudinal section of testes, so we will first start with decoding its three layers: outer, middle and inner. Yes, so we will see it has three layers which are divided as outer layer, middle layer and the inner layer. So when we talk about the outer layer, so now look at this image and you will see that the outermost layer is the tunica vaginalis. It is known as tunica vaginalis. Now coming to its middle layer, the middle layer here is termed as tunica albuginea. Tunica albuginea, which also is called as the capsule, and you can see it labeled here. It is the tunica albuginea. Now the third layer is called as, the third layer is known as tunica vasculosa. This is the third layer, somewhere here it is called as tunica vasculosa. I will write down here as well. The inner layer or the third layer is called as tunica vasculosa. Now inside these layers, each testis has about 250 compartments. How much? 250 compartments. Now this point is very, very important and you can note it down in your notebooks as well, that each testis has 250 compartments, which is known as the testicular lobule, and each lobule, remember that each testis, we are talking about testes, and each testis has about 250 compartments, and they have, which are called as testicular lobule, and each lobule, if you see, so here look in the image where I am marking, that the area which I am marking is the lobule, is a single lobule. Yes, so if you are talking about each lobule, so each lobule has around 1 to 2 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. Yes, each lobule has what? 1 to 2 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. Yes. Now come to the image. You will see that where seminiferous tubule is marked. So these are highly coiled structure. You can find it in this image also, that these are the seminiferous tubules. And what are the functions of seminiferous tubule? Inside the seminiferous tubule takes place the production of sperm. Yes. So I will write down seminiferous tubule here. Seminiferous tubule, inside which the sperm production takes place. Sperm production. Now it takes place inside the seminiferous tubules. So I would like to discuss a little more about seminiferous tubules with you. So look at this image carefully. So this is the enlarged part of seminiferous tubule. Here, if you see where I'm marking it. So this is the enlarged view, yes, enlarged view of seminiferous tubule. So yes, inside the seminiferous tubules, I would like to talk that there are two types of cells. There are two types of cells. First one is the male germ cell. First one is the male germ cell, and second one is, or the second type of cell which is present inside the seminiferous tubules are the Sertoli cells. Now, what are the functions of male germ cells and Sertoli cells? So you know that the production of sperms takes place inside the seminiferous tubule. How? So basically the male germ cell, see where I am marking number 1 in the image. This is the position of male germ cell. Now these male germ cells undergo the process of spermatogenesis to form sperm. So if you look at the image, you see that these germ cells are undergoing the various processes and they are forming the spermatozoa, which is called as sperm. See where I am encircling the sperm. Yes? So can I write here that they are involved in the production of sperms? Production of sperms, which is also called as spermatogenesis. Yes, spermatogenesis. Now, after the sperms are formed, they need nourishment. Yes, they need nutrition to remain alive or to grow. So, Sertoli cells provides nourishment to the sperms. So yes, now you know the functions of the male germ cells and Sertoli cells together. Yes. So yes, all right. Moving on to the next type of cell which is present outside in the interstitial space, just outside the seminiferous tubule. So you will see that where I am marking, I haven't marked Sertoli cells. This is number 2 in the image. You see, this is the Sertoli cells which are providing the nourishment to the sperms. Now, there is another type of cell which is present in the interstitial space just outside the seminiferous tubule, and those are the Leydig cells. I am marking it as number 3. These are the Leydig cells. Now, what are the functions of Leydig cells? So, basically, Leydig cells present in the interstitial cells secrete a very important hormone, which is called as testosterone. And as we know that testosterone is required in the process of spermatogenesis, so that is how you see that how these 3 cells are interrelated. That after the testosterone is released from the Leydig cells present in the interstitial spaces, it is required or it helps in the process of spermatogenesis towards the male germ cell or for the male germ cells. And after the sperms or spermatozoa is produced, Sertoli cells present in the seminiferous tubules are providing nourishment to the sperms. So this was all for this session. In this session, we studied about the introduction to male reproductive system and about testes and its longitudinal section. I hope you have understood all the topics. We will take up the remaining portion of the chapter in the next video. Till then, you can go to EduRev and attempt its respective tests. You can also unlock all the locked videos, docs and tests for class 12th with EduRev Infinity Plan and ace your exams at less than 80 rupees per month. Thank you.